This baby can't cry at birth, but she's a genius who can write her name before she's even a month old. Instead of realizing that her daughter is a child prodigy, her mother erases the words in disgust. Her dad was even worse, valuing boys over girls. As soon as he saw she was a girl, he left the hospital in a rage. When it was time to go home, he didn't even hug her and kept complaining that the girl was a liability. He threw his daughter in the trunk like a piece of trash. Then he drove down the road in a frenzy, not paying any attention to his daughter's safety. After getting out of the car, the whole family went into the house, leaving the baby alone in the car to ponder. What kind of parents are these? It's sad and pathetic. But this little girl was strong. By 1 she could wash up on her own, by 2 she learned to dress herself, and by 4 she had to live independently. Dad went out to look for a pretty girl. Mom dressed up to look for a handsome man. Her brother went to school, leaving Matilda home alone to fend for herself. When she was hungry, she had to make her own food. Beat 2 eggs, sprinkle some cake mix, and a plate of waffles was ready. Eating her own food and reading her favorite magazines was her happy time. Soon all the magazines in the house were finished, and her desire to learn made her brave enough to ask her dad to buy her a book. But her strange father thought that watching TV was fun and she could learn, so why should she study? Matilda didn't cry. She realized that she could rely on no one in the family and that she had to earn what she wanted. The next day after her parents went to work, she looked in the phone book and found the address of the library. Although it was 10 kilometers away from home, it didn't stop her from reading. When she arrived at the library, she politely consulted the administrator and went straight to the children's section. The janitor wondered why such a lovely child was not accompanied by a parent, something she had never encountered before. Matilda didn't need to be taken care of. She was happiest when she was sitting on the sofa, reading a book. Ever since she found her way to the library, she came every day, hungry to read one book after another, and to find what she wanted in the books. She finished the children's section in no time and moved on to other kinds of books. Even the librarian was so touched that she made an exception and gave her a library card. This allowed her to take the books home with her, saving her time on the road. Time passes quickly and Matilda is now 7 years old. She's learned a lot from all kinds of books, although she envied other children who had loving parents. But with books she is not alone. They give her unlimited space for imagination and make her more and more mature. When she was old enough to go to school, she asked her father to send her to school, but her father, who thought Matilda was only 4, dragged her to her mother to prove that he was right. Her mom wasn't much better, saying she was 5, but the truth was Matilda was already 7. This couple is perfect together. When he heard that Matilda was going to school, Dad was a little worried because there were a lot of unsigned deliveries at home. So Matilda's dream of going to school was shattered because she had to receive deliveries. She was so sad that she didn't even realize that her brother was bullying her. Back in her room, she cried over her books. She wanted to go to school like the kids in her stories and make real friends, but that felt like something that only happened in fairy tales. One day her dad came home excited after selling a bunch of used cars. He asked his son to help count the money he made, but as soon as he finished reading, Matilda blurted out the answer. Instead of believing him, he accused her of peeking at the bills. Matilda retorted that you had the paper in your hand the whole time. Feeling humiliated, her father used adult violence to punish a child who had done nothing wrong. Matilda felt so unfair that she decided to take revenge.